Hello, welcome to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you. This is a very interesting news article. Marijuana has some very negative effects on the human body. Jane doesn't want me to do this, but I'm going to do it because
I don't want you to.
Because she doesn't want me to, and I can't stand dope. You have the right to smoke it, but I can't stand it. This is brought to you by Belly Trim, and it has some very interesting products. We were discussing them on the number one. It contains things such as conjugated linoleic acid. They didn't have small writing like this when I was a kid. You could read it. And that is a very interesting product. It's cut with safflower oil in order to get into your system, safflower seed oil, and it removes fatty deposits according to WebMD and the National Institutes of Health. But that's only one of the ingredients. So we follow the instructions, 1 a day. 10 won't help, 1 a day. And on to marijuana. It has a lot of very interesting side effects. The Swedish Army did a study, and they brought a lot of people into the Army who were smoking dope. They got them off dope, and they went back to them 20 years later, and 2 out of 3 people were still smoking dope. So their desire for dope was there. So they went into the military all messed up in the head, and when they left, they got all messed up in the head. Marijuana studies indicate that prolonged use of marijuana, and even sometimes single use of marijuana, can cause schizophrenia. It lowers your IQ. It slows you down. That's why they call it dope. You take a test, you don't get an A, you get a D, but it's okay because a D is a passing grade and you went to class most of the time. I know, I grew up in a dope family. I can't stand it. I can't stand the smell. I left television because of the smell of dope. You want to talk about some dopers? Go to television. You'll find some dopers. I know, I was there. I'll tell you who doesn't smoke dope. Diplomats. They got to keep their mind sharp to steal and lie and cheat and murder. I couldn't stand them either because most of them lied. So there's no sense in going as an ambassador if you can't stand the people you're with because they lie. So marijuana also is a gateway drug to other drugs. Don't tell me it's not. I watched a guy smoke a joint laced with angel dust, 2 angel dusts with marijuana, and his brain went snap, crackle, pop. He was my best friend in high school and in college, and his mind snapped. And last time I saw him, he was trying to get up on the roof of a motorhome and pour water into the heater to kill the alien spiders. Not kidding, Jane. Junction City. I made his dad a 1-star because as an ambassador I can do that. And he died 2 weeks later, a great man. He's the one who was the navigator on the B-29 in World War II who watched the P-51s get charged up with water, not gasoline. So don't you ever tell me the water-powered cars aren't possible. Because the Merlin V12 in the P-51 with 2,000 horsepower was run on water. Anyway, so is the Chevy 350. I watched that one too. They get it hot with a series of screens, or get it hot with gasoline, and then through a series of screens, they missed water in with a second fuel pump, and the car ran all the way to Arizona on 1.5 quarts of water. 1.5 quarts of water back. I'd pee more than that going to Arizona. Anyway, marijuana has one other side effect that makes you socially, well, 2 side effects that make you socially not desirable. Number 1, when you smoke dope, you smell like skunk. Remember that bud we got from the guy growing dope? Mm-hmm. We had a bud, and every time we looked in, we sniffed it, and I was going to pour rosin in it and give it to the people on TV because they get a bud coated with rosin, and they'd be chipping away trying to smoke that, getting sick. I'll tell you what, that was high-quality bud he gave us.
Yuck.
Yeah, it stank, didn't it? We kept it in the car, and we didn't want to even bring it into the house. It stank so bad. Anyway, so you smell. You don't realize it because you smell like the rear end of a skunk when you smoke. You eat garlic, you smell like garlic. You smoke dope, you smell like the rear end of a skunk, which I have sniffed before. When I woke up and there was a skunk eating my wheat thins, and he sniffed me, and just as dope smokers smell just like, he was just like a cat. He was all happy because I said, eat my wheat thins, and I blew in his face. We became buddies. Then he went off to harass the rest of the platoon. which was funny. People screaming and yelling and jumping up and down. I was just laughing. Anyway, so the second thing that marijuana makes you do, which was a recent study put out, is it makes you toot.
Yes, you heard it.
Now, they did a fart study in Norway, and they found out, in England, and they found out that the Scottish, which are more relaxed, fart 10 times a day, and the tense Englishmen only fart 7 times a day. Well, apparently with marijuana, it increases that by 3 to 4 times. Now, I don't know if when you smoke something, and I can't do an imitation because I hate smoking, you breathe in air, or if the effects of the marijuana make you. So when you go to a party, not only do you stink like the rear end of a skunk, because I have smelled it. That skunk was very polite to me because everybody was sound asleep. It was 2 in the morning. He's licking my nose, and he walks away like that, and he eats my wheat thins, and I say, "You think you've had enough?" And he looks at me, and he walks away and walks around me and then walks right up to somebody else, gets in his face. He screams. Skunk turns around, rubbed his rear in his face, and hopped off like Pepe Le Pew. He stood up in his sleeping bag, rolled down into a lake, and couldn't get out of the sleeping bag, Lake Berryessa. I was laughing so hard I couldn't get out of my sleeping bag. 3 guys had to go down there and pull him out of the lake. So that's what you smell like. And not only that, when you toot, they smell like skunk too. So if you're a dope smoker, if you're putting a party together, say you're the Queen of England, or you're, let's get to a normal country. Let's say you're the Japanese Prime Minister, okay? And you're putting a state dinner together. If there's a dope smoker in the crowd, everybody's going to look at him like, ew, because you can put on a brand new tuxedo, go there, burp and toot, and everybody's going to look at you funny. You don't smoke dope at that level. You can't afford to. Your mind has to be sharp. Somebody says something about an Apple deal, you got to home right in, get the numbers, so you can get a cut of that Apple deal, because the diplomats are there to steal whatever they can steal. Becoming an ambassador is a license to steal. But I didn't know that. I just wanted to open an embassy, come back and fight veterans battles, because if I go to court, the judge is killed and the prosecuting attorneys are killed. So we don't go to court on veterans issues. They solve it, or I raise holy heck. The only thing we haven't been able to solve is the VA selling military records around the world. We have no information security because our generals are fat pigs. Our admirals are fat pigs. Didn't they just replace an admiral? Anyway, so if you smoke dope, people will not invite you to a high-end party. You're just going to go. See ya. Anyway, that's a negative effect of smoking dope. You heard it first on the... I love these stories about dope because they're all so negative. You have a right to smoke it, but you don't have a right to come to me for medical care because you get the big C after smoking dope. Smoking dope is your choice with your money that you earn on a job, not with welfare money we give you. It's supposed to go to food and housing. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you get one of these in the mail to buy your home, it's a scam. We'll buy your home. My name is Jesse, and I'd like to buy your property at blah, blah, blah. It's a scam. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. They have a bank of phones. It's either Chinese money, or they're going to have you sign on the dotted line and then never pay you. I've written them I've written them several times, $10 million, and they all call back and they get all mad on the phone. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. Oh, and just remember, Biden said, we can cure cancer. And he said, 100 people died from the pandemic. And then he said, if we don't agree with the court ruling or the Supreme Court ruling or the laws in Congress, we'll just make our own. That's the 3 quotes of the day from Biden. You can't make this stuff up. We'll just make up our own laws. 100 people died from the pandemic, and we've cured cancer. Well, we'll discuss the cure for cancer on the non-YouTube channels. We just had 2 of them pulled by Microsoft, so we're a little leery of YouTube because they lie, cheat, steal, and murder, but they allow us to post so we can stop the upcoming planned conflagration using firecrackers. Thank you, YouTube. God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.